Okay. Okay. Does my lighting look all right? My framing okay? I'm going to use my mouse to try and click on this stream a billion times. If that's okay. Okay. How's it going, everybody? Back here playing with Shashibo. If you have not seen this shape-shifting box before, it's probably the greatest toy that I've ever come across. It is called a Shashibo, a shape-shifting box that folds into over 100 different shapes. It's completely exploratory. There's no real right or wrong way of playing with it. All about just seeing if you can find all of the crazy twists and turns and the geometric journeys that this will take you on, not to mention the amount of ways that you can find to connect Shashibo magnetically and to find similarities in that geometry, just like so. It's so much fun to play with something that is this open-ended. Think outside the box, if you'll pardon the pun. And you can kind of just keep on exploring. So, thanks for joining the chat so far. Appreciate all of you who are hanging out. Let me know if you have any specific requests or if you're looking for a certain kind of tutorial. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on shifting through all sorts of different shapes and ways to play with Shashibo. If you want to support us, click on the link at the bottom of this stream or give us a follow, leave a comment, share it with a friend. Okay. Let's make something cool. First, I gotta take apart our cool build from earlier in the live. This thing is beautiful, but I want to harvest its Shashibo for something else. Now you can see some of the internal workings. What's going on here? It's made up of 4 of this shape right here. This is 4 Shashibo put together, and it has this really cool way of flowing, continuing to move. Those tails actually lock it in the middle there, or I can just wiggle them apart a tiny bit to allow it to continue to flow through into this shape right here. And I love that presentation right on the outside there. Plus there's tons of stuff you could connect to that, so lots of great ways to play with that shape. And I love choosing 4 of the same color, so you just get that really cool presentation. These really are like magnetic geometric art in your hands, you know? And there are some beautiful combinations of just 2 of these. If I can get the geometry to mesh just right. Oh, I see what's going on here. So these are currently mirrored chiral shapes, whereas what I need them to be is in the same orientation. So all I need to do is just flip all the tails on one, and now they'll be going in the same spiral there, and now we will have this really nice mesh. And it is a tricky combo. There it is. Finally found it. Got to get every single piece to fit in just right. But it's a lot of fun. I do kind of wonder if there are ways that I could continue to connect them like so, where I'm kind of stacking them like that. I think it'll get too brittle too quickly. We'll see. Yeah. I think that might be a little challenging, but certainly lots of cool ways to engage with that. Great. Okay. Playing with new toys on this live stream. So, thanks, King Ravana. Yeah, figured out how to stream on a different device this time. Glad you're back. Do you have any luck selling the thing or whatever that you were trying to sell? I cannot remember the name of it. It sounded like a made-up Doctor Who thing. I'm not gonna lie. But to that point, all words are made up. So I always love playing with Shashibo and just chatting about whatever is going on in the current like live chat or whatever, going through all sorts of cool shapes. So here to just chill and play. Besides, we've got such a nice TikTok community or Discord community, fun in motion gang, whatever you prefer to be called. I do really like rotating through all of the different presentations that you can get with 4 different designs. And we didn't even look at the back of each of those. So I can go through that whole cycle again. And you just look at the geometry going on in the back. So satisfying. These Shashibo right here were designed by Lawrence Gartell. He is often considered the father of digital art and just does a really great job of exposing the inherent geometry in art. the Trinitron. See, does that not? Am I crazy? Does that not sound like some kind of weird Doctor Who thing? I like that one. Nice. Congrats, dude. So, yeah. And that's just with one design. Now, shall we go through fours of all of the designs? No, we don't have to. But I do really like showing off cool stuff like that because it then just shows the possibilities for when you get multiple of the same design. Gives you just another reason to collect and connect Shashibo. Because you can expose really cool geometries just in the art. I can make this look completely different just by changing around one aspect there. Another really cool example of something like that, anytime that you use contrasting colors like fire and ice, you're gonna find some really cool ways to twist that pattern throughout when you make cool builds, like for shark fins, which I did a tutorial of just the other day. I think that post is going live later tonight. If you want to learn how to do this for yourself, check it out. And look, I've got one half of my tower that's ice and one half of my tower that's fire, unless I take a piece of this and just rotate it, and now you can follow the fire as it twists up, spirals up that box, and the ice spirals up it as well. And so I can make a big tower of all of that and just spin it. Look like it kind of like the barbershop pole effect, but blocky and angular and geometrical and cool. So stained glass is really nice for sure. That's what I was playing with a second ago. And I do like that my light just catches the holographics right there. So they are really cool designs. I really like Polar's holographics on the outside of the ball, especially. See those snowflakes reflecting in the light. Super cool. Plus, all of these have UV reactive designs as well. So if you've got a black light, you can unlock some hidden designs. Harder to see that one, but it looks like the sun rays and it's really cool. All right, what else do we want to see? I remember running back and forth to Walmart to find them, for sure. I do want to shout out the limited edition series. Which are these right here. Well, this is one of them. This is Hypnotic. And this does another really good job of just showing off how you can navigate between different designs and different looks for Shashibo. In that same simple way that I was just connecting 2 or 4 cubes, like so, you find these really awesome patterns. And especially with stuff like this, you can also play with repositioning pieces of it so that it looks mirrored instead of spiraled like that. It's basically the same face, just changing their orientation. Not to mention what it looks like on the back end there. Oh, it's so satisfying. This one does a good job of that. I always like when we put a nice jack-o'-lantern on the outside there, some cool gargoyles, some Day of the Dead style skulls, and the lovely jack-o'-lantern on the inside. So if you want to get your kids something original for Halloween this year, you should definitely check these out. These two designs are a limited edition. We're not making any more of these after they sell out. So if you want to get a hold of them, get a hold of them now while they are still in stock. We already sold out of last year's. Oh my word, and they are on sale for 15% off during this whole live stream. So if you'd like to get a hold of some a little cheaper than you can normally, take advantage of the deal that we've got going on for just this live stream, exclusive to you guys. That's awesome. Alrighty, so let's make something really cool with these since they are on sale. I'm gonna do a couple 6 Shashibo builds. So we're gonna start off with our hypnotic Shashibo, and I think I taught you guys in the last live how to make the shark fin, but we can go over it one more time, especially if we start by learning how to open our Shashibo, which is to find the magnetic seams that are on every single face and to squeeze on either end of one of those magnetic seams, just like so. You see this Shashibo already starts to come apart. We can just grab one of those sections of it and pull it straight back open into this crown. This is usually the first shape that most people get into. And if I flip that crown around like this, I can hold onto the top while I grab this bottom section and just pull it straight down away from that top section to make my star. The star is the easiest way to visualize how to get to all of these different shapes because we can see the sections that we need to manipulate easily identified right there. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 3 on the other side, making 6 sections. Each of those sections are made up of 2 pieces, these 2 together like that. And you can have those pieces face to face like this is what I would call them, so that we can see the face of the Shashibo right there. Or if I take all 3 of those on one side, one at a time, and flip it inside out, just like so, and I get my nice loose ring right here. And that ring, if we take 2 sections of it and bring it together like this, and then let this kind of top diamond part collapse just like so, we make this wedge, and then we take this tail left over and we just tuck it down on one of the sides. Now for this shape, I'm going to choose the same side every time. And we're just going to make a few more of that shape that we call the shark fin. And I like doing some color coordination, so we're doing 3 of each design, just like so. And if I take this right triangle right here, this right angle triangle, and I match it to this right angle triangle on this face, see how there's 2 of them face to face like that? I just need to offset which one I'm connecting. So it isn't same to same, it's one to the other. Oop. And I did all, oh yeah, that was right. To make this really cool, it looks like a little flower petal, or just a really cool spiral with a point on one side. And I can take another 3 shark fins. And look, because I made some choices with the coloring, we just get slightly different presentations between the 2. Let me know in the comments which you like better. And while with a ton of these, I could continue connecting them back to make a really cool dodecahedronoid shape around that, which we might do in a second here. I'm just going to take the 6 that I have and have them connect face to face like so, with those spirals going face to face. And that makes this really cool kind of exploding box, this box that looks like it's being twisted open almost. And I think that it's really satisfying, a nice cool connection, and you can continue to manipulate it, right? If we take each of these pieces and flip them over, right? Oh, hang on. So if I take each piece from one section and flip it up just like so, then that changes the look a little bit. We could flip it over again, and then you get to see what position this was in when we changed it up. So that's a completely different thing. That doesn't really work unless you have those magnets to hold it there when it was connected to the other shape. So let's make a couple more of those, because I do now want to make the giant dodecahedron thing that I was telling you guys about. And for that connection, what we're going to do is just take each of these and connect them back to back like this, so that they're cube side to cube side. So now we just need to make a few more shark fins. And if you are wondering what it is that I'm doing here, I am taking a bunch of these Shashibo, these shape-shifting boxes that fold into a bunch of different shapes and can connect together, and I'm making them all into the same shape right now, so that I can make one specific build. And I'm connecting this, I'd say it's like a level 3 shape, I think we have it classified as. I'm connecting them together. What I actually want to do is I'm going to do 3 of my ghastly jack and 3 of my hypnotic and connect them together like this. These are some beautiful designs of a limited edition series that we have on sale for this live, 15% off if you'd like to get a hold of them. Like I said, they are a limited edition, so once we run out of these, we aren't making any more. So get them while you can if you really like these designs. Which, why wouldn't you? They are beautiful designs. Ooh. I guess it's a little easier to connect 2 pieces at a time and then connect those 2 pieces together like this. Wow. And that's just half of it done. Look at that really awesome kind of spiral that you get. And there's the back end. One big square with all that going on the other side. Okay. Let's do another one of those, shall we? Complete the ball. And again, I'm trying to choose the same colors here. A couple more shark fins coming right up. It's so nice to have music in our live streams now, guys. Let me know in the comments if you prefer it. Stained glass, one of my favorites. I mean, just look at how colorful that is on the inside. Okay. We've got now another 12 of our shark fins to make this half. I mean, look at how beautiful that artistic design is. And we connect the two halves square to square, just like so, to finish our beautiful giant build. Anybody keep track on how many Shashibo are in this? I know I just said how many half of them is, but this is how I check to see if y'all are paying attention. I mean, that is just gorgeous. And it's not done. So I can actually flip every single one of those tails that we had tucked down on the Shashibo shark fin. I can flip every single one of them to get those really cool points. Then I just got to start flipping 24 tails the whole way around. Just on the live stream, flipping tails, y'all. There we go. Now, we've got a spiky dodecahedron. A spikahedron. So, I think that's honestly one of my favorite things to do with Shashibo, and we can just remind ourselves where we came from in this. Since we color coordinated, we can just take one of those patterns out of it and see what's left. How many Shashibos? You tell me, my friend, how many you think are in here? Tough to get it to mesh right back in there. But it is just so satisfying. So, if you like the designs in this, especially this half right here, this half is from our limited edition fall series that we just came out with. These are brand new Shashibo designs on sale for 15% off in this live stream. So check them out in the link below if you'd like to get a little percentage off on our newest Shashibo designs. Look at that guy. I really like the green accents on this one. Plus we've got the mansion with the bats all around. On that side, we've got a little ghost dude. I think his name was Ebo. And so there's got to be a shush around here somewhere that we're going to find in the lore. Maybe, what do you guys think? Is it one of these skulls or this gargoyle? Is that Shash? Since Ebo is already out here. How many people would be interested in the Shashibo lore deepening? Let me know in the comments. Oh, I did not see the 10 roses. Thank you so much for the 10 roses. Breaks by the River guessed 5 in this build. Closer to 24, my friend. 24 Shashibo in this giant thing. But we can make the piece of it with just 3. And it is a really satisfying 3. And there's a ton of things that you could do with this shape. I've done a lot of lives talking about the amount of things you can do with 2 and 4 and 6 and all these different numbers, but I don't know if I've done enough talking about what you can do with 3 Shashibos. So let's learn on my favorite new designs that just dropped. This is Twilight. Just some beautiful stuff. Okay. So let's start with an easy one. And that easy one is 3 crowns, which is this shape right here. For most people, I think it's the first shape that you make when you open up your Shashibo. You're just squeezing the cube, taking one section and peeling that section straight back to make our crown shape. And I can take the points of those crowns and connect them all like this. To make that piece right there. This also looks really nice. And of course, if I made, oh, before I move on from the crown, I can also connect them on the back end here. Which is, again, just, I think, a really nice shape. And I'm curious. Let's see, I don't think that the magnets are gonna be friendly here. But, we're gonna see if I can take 3 crowns connected like this and 3 crowns connected back to back in that same kind of way. For this right here. I want to see if this fits over that. Okay, it works geometrically, but it doesn't snap together magnetically. Looks interesting though, for sure. But because you can take a UFO and put that UFO here, and you can also take a UFO and put it here to connect that. Let's see. Oh, beautiful. Now look at that. I don't know that I've ever done that on a live, and it's so simple. I don't know that I've ever done that ever. But yeah, like, of course it would work. Beautiful. Those shapes are so compatible. I love it. And it kind of rolls like that. Let's see where we can go with this. You tell me, chat. You want to see some You want me to go down this rabbit hole and see what we can find? Or do we want to see some more 3 Shashibo shapes? While you guys think about that, I'm going to hydrate. I do think that I could also take a hive and get it, moving around a crown like this. Look at that. Look at that. That's incredible. That's so cool. I don't think I've ever done that before either. What the heck? Again, it's so simple. It's just 3 crowns locked around one hive in the center there. And you can again take that and attach it in. Man, that looks so cool. Okay. Well, like I said, these beautiful designs that we have are on sale for this live stream and this live stream only, 15% off. If you are looking to get them right now, this is the perfect time to do it while you are hanging out with me. Then you can ask me all sorts of questions about what to do with it, because there are infinite possibilities with this Shashibo. Every single one of these Shashibo themselves turn into over 100 different shapes. They're completely exploratory. There's no right or wrong way to play with it. It's all about letting your mind wander, explore, listening to those satisfying crunches, clacks, clicks. And as long as you keep an open mind and think outside of the box, if you'll pardon the pun, you are just going to have a ton of fun finding all of the twists and turns that this Shashibo will take you on. And if you want infinite possibilities, just get one more to find all of the ways that you can connect your collection of Shashibo. Really infinite ways. I mean, each individual shape, of which you can make over 100, connects to every other shape in multiple different ways. And so you end up going down a road of endless exploration and geometrical wonders. There's so much that you can do and learn from Shashibo. It's one of my favorite ways to get adults playing again, man. Everybody's got to start playing some more. Everyone that I know who thinks that they're too old to has also usually decided that they are too old to learn. And I don't think that that is ever going to be true, because you've always got something new that you could explore. This world is infinite. So don't put yourself in a box. Think outside of it and start playing with some Shashibo. It'll change your life. It changed mine. I am a happier and healthier person because of this toy. And that's why I love working for these people. So, if you have even been remotely thinking about getting a Shashibo, even for just this live, do it. It's worth every penny. It's kind of cool. You can just balance it almost. I like that. I bet you could spin this. Oh, yes, that's so cool. Look at that. I like that spin a lot. Man, I wish I could get you, I wish I could give you guys a more like top-down because it looks really cool down the center of it. But you'll just have to build one for yourself. You gotta get 4 of these hypnotic Shashibo, and you can see the crazy sights of them spinning. Whoa. That's crazy. Okay. So the obvious next step is making more of these. So let's make some more of these. Which requires a hive and 3 crowns. And there are a ton of ways that you can connect 4 Shashibo, right? I mean, we're already talking about infinite possibilities with 2, but at some point you're gonna get bigger. You're gonna wanna get bigger in your builds. And so when that happens and you don't want to buy a bunch of individual Shashibo unless you're looking for some specific designs, I cannot recommend enough you check out this limited edition of, this collector's edition of our 4 original Shashibo series. This is a super sleek and really satisfying way to store your 4 Shashibo, and these are 4 beautiful designs. So not only does it come with this really cool shape guide that is all about helping you on the beginning of your Shashibo journey, showing off the first 70 shapes that we had authenticated and some awesome combinations with 2 to 4 Shashibo. Look at all of that. So a ton of fun to explore with that book, plus the 4 Shashibo that you get. And that is this product right here that I am pinning for you. And let's open these up. Because like I said, there's a ton that you can do with 4 Shashibo. I've shown you some over the course of this live, but even if we just open it up to our simplest shape, like the crown, taking one section of our cube and pulling it straight back into this crown shape, then I can get all 4 of those connected just like so to make a really cool build. And you'll be able to see it in just a second here. There it is. So that's 4 crowns. You can also take a couple back to back like so, and then bottom to bottom like this. That's also 4 of them. You could start a chain going like so. Lots of fun ways to get these connected. Or we could get a little more complicated by just opening one more section into the star. And take 4 of those stars. That's a simple connection because all we're looking to do right there is take same triangles and connect them to same triangles. See how both of those look the same? They're the same piece of it. That means they're going to have some magnetic compatibility. So we know that those are all going to connect. Or we could try and make that same geometry but with a different shape. Seems impossible, right? But turns out if I make, by opening 3 of these points all on one side like so into these hexagonal tab shapes, I make the hive and I connect it by the tabs to these other hives just like so. There it is. And you get that same geometry that you had with 4 stars. But you can also connect these hives in a couple other ways like so, or the only other one I'm aware of is this guy right here. Ooh, that one's tricky because there's really only a couple magnets holding each of them together. So tricky, but elegant and beautiful. And you can continue to stack them like that. Anytime that you repeat the same shape over and over again, you're gonna find some really cool symmetry. Tetrahexagonally symmetrical right there. Try and say that 5 times fast. So, like I said, if you want to level up your Shashibo skills and build your collection all at once, try out these 4 Shashibo from our collector's edition, these 4 original Shashibo. They're beautiful designs, and they have some colors that really show off how the Shashibo works, right? Like, I want to get my red side out for the cube. I want to get this green side, this interior, facing out the whole way around for my ball, and that yellow and blue are just for everything in between, so that you can track not only the orientation of your Shashibo, but where all of those pieces are coming from for weird twists on shapes like this. So definitely get yourself some of these. Black and white is hands down still to date one of my favorite designs that we have ever put on a Shashibo. Blue Planet and Space Out are no slouches either. All 4 of these are really nice designs. Can't go wrong by starting yourself off strong with this collector's edition. So get yours soon. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming of putting this new weird thing together. Let's add some more Shashibo to it. So to remind everyone, we are making our hive, this shape right here, which is actually halfway to the cube. All we need to do from here to close it all back up is to take each of those tabs and one by one fold it down. But notice how I'm letting the Shashibo open up every time I move one of those, because if I hold it all closed and try and force it down, I'll tear it. These things are durable, but not indestructible. So if it doesn't flow, it doesn't go, and as long as you follow that rule, you will never hurt your Shashibo. And we're just making 3 crowns, and like I said, 1 hive. Just taking these 3 pieces back through the middle, and I want my pink side out there. And then to get these crowns put on there, I'm opening them up like a book, pushing that bottom section forward so we're in the lockjawed star, and then putting my point behind it and closing up the jaw of the star back to where it was in the crown shape. And that way we're not needing to force anything on there. That's how we weave stuff, is we usually need to change the position to get it into the woven position. There's only a couple weaves that I can think of where you don't need to like open up or hold the Shashibo at an open stance at some point. Put our UFO in there just to add some extra magnets to the back for the connection. And now we've just got 1 more to go. I need my 3 crowns. And my hive. Hey JT, we keeping an eye on the comments? I don't know how to mute people in this. All right, I figured it out. Oh, it does not work. Weird. All right, sorry guys, lost your comments. I don't know what happened there. What's the biggest shape that you can make? That's a great question, Brandon. Honestly, that's one of the beautiful things about Shashibo is that there is no limit. The limit is just how many Shashibo you happen to have on hand. So if you have a lot of Shashibo on hand, then you can build pretty much infinitely. There is no real end to it. You do have to be strategic, though, in the way that you build. But with infinite Shashibo, you can give yourself infinite support to whatever build you're doing. So, I mean, at some point, I suppose if you're at infinite Shashibo, you'll create a mass so big that it collapses in on itself and creates a black hole. So I suppose that's as many, but I don't know. Somebody with more math skills than me figure that out. All right, so right now we have 16 Shashibo, 4 in each of these pods. Oh, actually 5 in each of these pods since I have some UFOs in the back. So that's 20 Shashibo. So 5 Shashibo in each of these sections, and we can just get them all connected back to back like this. And there we go. There is a beautiful dodecahedron. And you know what's funny? I know how to make this in a different way. So you can make this exact geometry with just a completely different, still woven connection. And you could do either of these with 16 Shashibo. I just have 20 for a little extra stability. And boy, is it heavy. But that's really cool. So this is broken down into these sections right here. But the shape that I am thinking of actually uses a star instead of a hive as its anchor, and the spaceship. And we make the spaceship by opening one section of our cube into the crown and then folding that back on that hinge, opening that crown up like a book into the spaceship shape. And I'm going to take each of the front tabs of those spaceships and I'm going to open up the back end here, like so, okay? So I take that front tab and I have it lined up in the middle, and then I'm gonna open up that back end so that it can scoop around that point of the star right there. And then I'm gonna let that tab go up through the middle, just like so. It's a little tricky. Got 1, 2, and our third one, the tightest squeeze. There it is. So, completely different shapes. They look different in most ways. But when I get 4 of either of them put together, you can see how it has that same presentation. So if I got 3 more of these put together, I could just fill out the rest of this. But when you put 4 of these together, and that's from 3 different sections, right? But just the same face right there, which I think is really cool. And both of those shapes spin really well. So lots of similarities, which I think is, I just love Shashibo. That is what I'm talking about, with the infinite possibilities, the infinite ways for connection. As many as you happen to have on hand, that's as many as you can put together. Don't limit yourself. I hear that. TikTok wants the Ezra wheel. No problemo. Let's make it from 4 of the same color. And we're going to use Vapor. This is a really popular design. Can you show how to make the hourglass shape with 2 cubes? I can do it, but only because I stumble into it. Bailey, I'd be happy to come back to that. We're going to show off the Ezra's wheel first. And then I will come back and do an hourglass shape. Okay, so to make the Ezra's wheel, we want to open one section of the Shashibo into the crown like this. We're going to flip the crown around and pull this section down and away from that top section into the star shape. And I'm going to take this section that I just opened up from the star, and I'm going to open it up on that seam like so into this tab shape, except that I want this section to stay where it was in that star, so that we get one section of the tab on this end and one section of the star up here, and that gives us a shape that we call the swan. And I need 8 swans, so I'm going to keep on making a couple of those. I've just got a few more to make. I'm doing a little color coordination on this since I've got 8 of the same design here. And so now that I've got all of those made, I take that tab that I created and I put that through the hole that is presented in the middle of our other swan shape, just like so. And I'm going to take this tab and I'm going to keep on doing that, putting it through that hole. However, you can see now that in that hole there is another shape kind of in the way, this point of that first one in the chain. And so what I need to do is open these up so that there is a gap that I can take my tail and tuck it behind that first Shashibo, but in front of the second one, so that I have those woven together. See how that tab ended up behind the point in here? And we're just going to keep that same pattern going. I find it easiest to, on a table or the carpet or something like that, pop it open like this so that you have that hole consistent. And then you just need to open one Shashibo at a time to keep that line open. And then you can kind of just close them all at once into this nice long chain. And that chain is sturdy. Look at that. Not going anywhere. And if I take that whole thing and start bringing each end towards each other, then I just need to push down on the second to last cube in this end of the chain so that there is a gap between it and the last cube that I can slot that first tail in. And then I take this last point and I slot it behind the second tail, and then I pinch in the middle like this, and I have a beautiful wheel. You can add all sorts of things onto this shape, but it is pretty spectacular. And it's what I've got on my shelf back here already in the watermelon colors. So that's how you make an Ezra's wheel. And the next tutorial that I saw asked for was an hourglass shape. So I do want to say we've got 1 minute left before I get started on that tutorial. We've got 1 minute left of our hypnotic and ghastly Jack designs from our new limited edition fall series. These just came out. These two are on sale for 15% off just for this live, okay? They're gonna be ending in a half hour. All right, so get them while you can. They're beautiful, they're amazing. And we're gonna take these two and we're gonna learn how to make the hourglass shape. So this is how to make the hourglass shape with 2 Shashibo. We're going to find out how to open our Shashibo by looking for a magnetic seam and squeezing on either end of that magnetic seam, grabbing one of the sections that comes apart and pulling that section straight back into the crown shape, just like so. Now I'm going to take this crown shape and I'm going to pull these 2 sections down here like this apart from each other, just like so, to make my star shape. And you see how that back section just falls down on its own? Let it do that. to make the star. Now take all 3 sections from one half of the star. See how there's 3 sections on this half, and if I flip it over, there's 3 sections on that half. Just take all 3 sections from one half, one at a time, and flip them through the middle, just like so. Now we have our Shashibo inside out into this ring shape. If I take my ring and I collapse it in half like this into the Shashibo snake, then I can take these 2 humps essentially, and I want them to close up. One of them, I'm going to take that top one, I'm going to close it on this side, and I'm going to kind of rotate it back and close this one on the same side, and then get this tail out so that I make this formation of the snake. All right, now do that twice and make sure that you're making that snake shape in the same way. You don't want these to be mirrored, you want them to be exactly the same. Now I'm going to take each of those kind of semicircles, and I'm going to take this section and I'm going to connect it to that same half on this side, like so that. See how they're going crisscross? Just like so. Now take each tail of those pieces and just tuck those tails in so that they connect one at a time to make the hourglass. That's how you do it. It's a really beautiful combination and one that I always have fun playing with. So, all right, I think that's the last tutorial that was recommended. Guys, if you want to take advantage of the sweet discount that we have on these two, do it before 6 p.m. It's not going past that. So get 15% off of these on Shopify and check it out. Thanks again for hanging out with me in this live, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.